you there?
Hey, I'm here, Joy.
Okay. You want to go ahead and start by introducing yourself?
I do. Well, first of all, I want to say a big welcome to everyone and thank you so much for joining us on the Ultimate Fall Detox. We are so excited
Yay.
to introduce the program. I'm Melissa Fox. I'm with Fox Health Coaching, and Joy and I are colleagues, and also we were classmates together at the Institute of Integrative Nutrition. So that's my little spiel. Joy, you want to take it?
Yeah, I'm Joy with Not Just Kale, and I think that's the gist of how Melissa and I know each other. I want to get right into it out of respect for your time. What everybody should be looking at is the Ultimate Fall Detox 2011. It's a 14-page document. If you do not have it, please let Melissa or I know immediately, and we will make sure that you get that. If you flip to the first page, it's how to use this guide and be successful. And I just want to fly through this part. What we're going to do today is we're going to go over what your schedule is for the next couple of days, what symptoms you can expect when you start the actual detoxification process, and then I really want to focus on some of the meal prep, which we find that in the past most detoxers, that's where the majority of their questions are. And we also want to remind you that, it is not too late to recruit a detox buddy. If you want to have some extra support outside of the group, I know a lot of people have come in here and usually have a friend to do it with. And sometimes, if you feel like you need that, they're certainly welcome to sign up. The other thing that I really want to suggest is that we're going to be doing 3 phone calls over the next week, and we really strongly encourage you to turn up the volume and listen to these phone calls. They're incredibly valuable and will most certainly help you be successful in this detox. And finally, if you guys need support, please ask us. We've created a form for you, and it's actually an email that's direct to both Melissa and I in the group. And if you have any questions, please shoot us an email and ask. Shouldn't at any time be wondering what you should be doing. If you're feeling something weird, please ask us. So without further ado, I want to get into that. You will receive an invitation from a Yahoo group. It is TUFC, which is the Ultimate Fall Cleanse. That's what it stands for. You'll just need to become a member of that group. And again, if you have any questions on how to do that, feel free to ask me. The other biggest thing that I really want to focus on in terms of schedule is you really need to read through your materials, and we'll try to go through majority of them today. But make sure that, over the next day or two, so by Saturday, that if you have any questions about what you're buying, about any of the recipes, about any of the supplements or any of the expected symptoms, whatever, that you ask. So when Saturday or Sunday rolls around this weekend, that you have set aside some time and you're comfortable, you have your grocery list, you know what recipes you're cooking, and you're ready to go to the grocery store and buy everything. And just as a little heads up, it is completely normal throughout this process when you're detoxing to feel uncomfortable. We want you to feel stretched and a little bit out of your comfort zone, and you will feel that in the grocery store. I always tell my detox clients that I encourage you, if it's possible, to go without children, to set an hour by yourself in the grocery store where you can concentrate. If you have questions, usually if you're shopping at Whole Foods or an organic market, which is not necessary, but I would encourage you to do so, that the people there are really helpful if you don't know where something is. And I have had people, shoot me emails from the grocery store saying, hey, I can't find this, what do I do? I can't promise you that I'm always going to be able to answer my email immediately, but we will certainly do the best that we can to be monitoring while we know that you're at the grocery store. Monday, the detox begins. So by now you should all have your ducks in order. There's not going to be any last-minute planning or running out to buy food, and no hitting the local McDonald's for a double cheeseburger and french fries.
Darn it.
What did you say, Melissa?
Darn it. I'm kidding.
Wednesday, we're going to do another detox teleclass. And then Friday, the detox ends. So really, you guys, it's just 5 days. It's nothing crazy. You're not going to be starving for those 5 days. And Melissa can probably tell you a little bit about what you can expect during those 5 days. You want to take it from here?
I sure can. So everybody, feeling bad means getting better. That's what someone told me during my first detox when I was complaining so much that I wasn't feeling good. And sure enough, I did start feeling much better. I also see this all the time in my clients when they're doing detoxes. It doesn't really matter if you've done 20 before or if this is your first. It is really common to feel some bit of discomfort and really not feeling good as you're detoxing. And that's not such a bad thing. So, quickly, why do we sometimes feel bad when we cleanse? So, when we cleanse, you're putting good, recognizable food into your body. We're also cleansing our body through our skin and our urine and our bowel movements and everything else. We're getting rid of the toxins that have stored up. And so when I say that, by recognizable, when I'm talking about food, I mean that your body really can break down the food into tiny little cells of nutrition that can be absorbed. But when your body is putting a lot of good food into it, what you'll notice is that it's also going to start letting go of the bad stuff. And sometimes the process can really make you feel like crap. So headaches, fatigue, queasiness, even flu-like symptoms. I can't tell you how many of my clients tell me, "Oh my gosh, I have the flu. I can't continue with the detox." And I say, "No, you don't. You're detoxing. This is good." So just to clarify, the first few days, there's a chance, and this certainly won't happen for everyone. The last few detoxes I've done, I've really kind of sailed through them, so that's a good thing. But the first few days, you can expect to have some headaches and maybe some digestive disturbances going on. You might feel kind of sinus stuff going on that you wouldn't think would be attributed at all to detoxing, but rest assured that it is. You might feel a bit heavy. I had a client during my last detox who said, "I've actually gained weight on day 3." He was really concerned, and then by day 6, he had lost 7 pounds. So it's just interesting what the body will do. And also, one thing that most people might feel is a little bit of low energy and fatigue. But rest assured, you are going to start feeling better. So we just want to keep your eye on the prize there. You will have more energy. Hopefully, you're going to be going more regularly. You'll feel less hunger. You'll sleep better at night. Your mood will get better. There will hopefully be a reduction in many of the things that currently bother you. And by that I mean it could be things that you've never really connected to your diet. So it could be asthma, allergies, sinus stuff, digestive issues, sleep, anxiety, that type of thing. So really, just to be clear, we want to say that truly feeling bad is okay, and we're here for you. So, Joy, do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I just want to say that I know that we have, detoxers of all range, and there's quite a few people on here that have never done a detox before. So I just don't want this to scare you. We have purposely designed this detox to be very gentle. You're not doing, a crazy liver or gallbladder bladder cleanse where you can't leave the house because you're so sick. That's not what Melissa means. You may not feel great. You're not going to want to go out and run a marathon. You may not even feel like going out with your friends because you might be a little bit more tired or you might have a little bit of a headache, but it's nothing that's going to be debilitating. Would you say that's accurate, Melissa?
Oh my gosh, absolutely accurate. It is. And I think that's a very good point, Joy, is that this isn't a detox where it's all liquid or it's like the master cleanse. There's a place for all sorts and different kinds of detoxes. But this one, and Joy, can I just kind of jump into the eat this, not
sure.
that section?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Okay. So we wanted to make this simple for you. Before we go into the meal plan, and Joy's going to do that in just a minute here, before we go into the meal plan and what to eat, we want to break it down really simply for you. And I will say this. What this detox is designed to do is to quite simply remove the things from your diet that we know cause inflammation and toxicity and just generally causing muck in the body. And we're just giving you 5 days to take a break from that. We know that you will experience results. Now, on the scale of that, that's dependent on how committed you are, but also just different body types and where you're at in your healing journey. So let's talk about the eat this, not that. Quickly, we're going to talk about what you can eat, and that would be fish, lean white meat. So that's organic chicken. We love the idea of most things organic. Fresh or frozen non-citrus fruits. So ideally you want to go with berries and green apples. The reason we say non-citrus is quite simply because we have found that some people are actually allergic to citrus fruits. They have no idea that they are. We'd love to give your body a break from anything that might irritate it this week. So if you can stay away from it, with exception of lemon, that would be great. So you can have all the fresh vegetables you want. In fact, all of the vegetables you want. If they're frozen, that's fine too. We don't want to discourage anyone. Salads, vegetable broths, beans and legumes, oatmeal, brown rice, nuts and seeds. You're going to have a rainbow of whole and natural unprocessed foods. So we're going from refined to real foods right now. So with that in mind, what are we not going to eat? We're going to ask that, as Joy said, you really stretch yourself this week. And no sugar. So we don't want any kind of included sugars. You will see that we have some recipes that have a bit of honey. That's okay. It's just a bit. Don't cheat and put 15 tablespoons on it. But we want to get rid of most sugars. White food. So that includes potatoes and rice crackers and all of that. But, sweet potatoes and yams, those type of things, those are totally okay, and they taste sweet, so that's awesome. You're going to go for, gluten food. So basically foods that have gluten in them, breads, pastas, baked goods. Why do we say that? Because that's another food that we have found really is the culprit behind of a lot of people's problems, including not being able to lose weight, seriously. So you're not going to do coffee and soda, alcohol, no soy, no pork or beef, no processed foods, no salt, and no artificial sweeteners at any time. So so for those of you who think you found that loophole, no, none of that. So we're just, so it's about really nourishing your body and challenging yourself. We have some snack ideas after the eat this, not that. I'll let you read through that on your own. And if you have any questions, of course, we're always here to support you. But I do want to say one thing really quickly before Joy jumps into her section, and that is this. When you give up these type of things, so you're giving up a lot of foods that possibly you eat regularly. And I want to just caution that it's not only the body that might feel a little bit off when you're doing this detox, but it's not uncommon for you to have some emotions and mental and emotional things kind of spring up with this. And it's certainly nothing that is to be feared or afraid of, but you might find that if you turn to sugar a lot to really comfort you in life during stress, anxiety, happiness, sadness, boredom, tired, all of that, it might come up a little bit emotionally. So just be aware of that and know that we're here to support you. So let's move on to that 5-day meal plan, which I do want to give Joy props for this. She really pulled the weight on this one. She's so good with recipes and just really came together with a vegan and non-vegan version of this 5-day meal plan that knocked my socks off. So I hope that you agree. So there you go, Joy.
Thank you. And just really quickly, again, I know that we have a lot of different levels here, and there's a couple people here that have never done a detox before and that maybe are a little bit uncomfortable in the kitchen, or are used to eating out quite a few of their meals. And we want to really encourage you again to get out of your comfort zone and practice and cook, because quite frankly, it's not healthy to eat out that much. Once in a while, this week, if it's your best friend's 35th birthday and, you can't get out of it, fine, go, and Melissa will talk a little bit later, about what you can do in a restaurant, and we can help you through that. But as a general rule, you should be cooking. You do not have to follow these recipes. You can follow the eat this, not that, and just steam a piece of fish and some frozen vegetables and call it a day. If that is, not exciting enough for you and your palate needs a little bit more than that, then we certainly, have plenty here for you as well. But we really want you to take this detox seriously. It is only 5 days of your life. It is not going to kill you to skip restaurants for 5 days, I promise. and you'll be amazed at the difference that you feel in your body. So moving right ahead to this meal plan, the first one is the vegan version, which I'm actually going to skip over. I know a couple of you that are vegan, you are pretty proficient at the detoxing and the meal planning, so feel free to read through that. The non-vegan meal plan, I'm going to focus on that a little bit more because I have a feeling that that's where most of you are on this call. Now, the meal plans are designed for those that don't want to take the time to read through all the recipes and pick something. So you are certainly welcome to take whichever version of the meal plan you want. Go through, find the recipes. You look and see what you have, what you don't have in the ingredient list in the recipes. You write down on your grocery list. If you have 3 recipes that say you need a lemon, then you'll make a 3 next to your lemon and you'll get 3 lemons. I know that seems overly basic, but I know that there are some of you that could use a reminder on how to do that. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. That's what we're here for. So you go through all the recipes. If you don't like fish, then you are welcome to pick. We have 41 recipes here, and I did that intentionally to give you a lot of variety. There should be something for all palates. So you are certainly welcome to stick to these meal plans or get out of them if you want. Your daily rundown. Melissa, do you want to do this one?
Sure. Do you want me to start? I can go ahead and start off. So what you'll notice is that the first thing that we suggest, it's totally optional that you can do upon waking, is to have 2 tablespoons of organic extra virgin olive oil mixed with the juice of 1/2 of an organic lemon. Now, first of all, I will say this is optional. If you have any gallbladder issues at all, please do go ahead and skip this. And I also want to say the disclaimer here that really you should probably check with your doctor before doing any of these type of things. That's not food. So, right, this is the olive oil part of it. And what this does is the olive oil, it's a very good and nurturing fat, and that little dose of olive oil will cause the gallbladder to create extra bile, and then the bile is filtered through the liver. And the liver, since we're not eating all of these processed foods and alcohol and caffeine and all of that, it actually acts as an internal cleanser. So kind of going through there like a scrub brush with that liver and really cleaning it out. Because remember, our liver is really a huge source of detoxing in our body. So that's something that you can try. I've had people who try it. I really haven't had anyone that said they hate it. They say it's okay. And a lot of people report that it actually helps with their regularity. So that could be a good thing. So that was the upon waking. And Joy, do you want to take over a little bit of this to saying like what the morning was? Yeah. And
then after that, every morning you should be doing hot or at least warm water with the juice from 1/2 a lemon. You're certainly welcome to do a little bit more lemon if you can tolerate it. I have had mixed reviews on this one, but it's the same concept. It's very detoxifying and hydrating for your body. Ideally, and I know this can be hard for a lot of you, but if you could do 20 to 60 minutes of some kind of exercising, even just jumping up and down to kind of get the lymphatic fluids moving. If you have a rebounder or a trampoline, that would be fabulous. Personally, I know that's tough for me to squeeze that in because I'm usually trying to get the kids out the door. So again, this is the ideal of what you would be doing. It is not the end of the world if you cannot do one of them or in the order. For breakfast, somewhere between 7 and 9 a.m., you should do what is outlined in the meal plan. And actually here where it says the ultimate smoothie, we mean green smoothie. And there's a recipe for that. It could also be a green cleansing juice if you want. Or you can have, if you need something a little bit more hearty, you could do the Mediterranean egg scramble, which is just, eggs. Ideally, you would have pasture-raised eggs. It's even actually beyond cage-free. You're going to look for something. It needs to say pasture-raised unless you have your own chickens. I know there's someone on here that has a couple people that have their own chickens. But you want the chickens actually in the grass, eating grass and seeds and worms. and I'm not going to get into the reason for that. You can also have oatmeal. There's a lot of options here. There's actually even a pumpkin pancake, although I would say that that's really not what I would recommend you have every single day. So moving right along, you can do a breakfast or cleansing tea, and you can purchase your detox tea at any organic market, and anyone that says detox tea should be fine. Your mid-morning snack, you certainly don't have to have a snack if you're not hungry, but at any point during this detox, if you're hungry, we encourage you to eat. This is not about starvation, it's about nourishing your body. So you can do a green drink as outlined in the meal plan, or any of the optional snack suggestions. One of my favorite snacks is a cut up apple with some, almond butter. And I would get the whole almond butter that's just almonds ground up. It may have some sea salt in it, but that's it. They have some. You want to read the label on the back of the almond butter jar. Make sure that's not one that has sugar in it, because sugar is hidden in an awful lot of almond butter out there. I would also really encourage you to drink maybe some of the magic mineral broth, and we're going to get into that in a little while, but maybe I should just do it now. The magic mineral broth it's now, again, this is something I'm going to be really honest that intimidates a lot of people. They're like, what? I have to make my own broth. It is the easiest thing that you could make. You're basically, let me flip to, I don't have the recipe here in front of me. It's basically you're taking sweet potatoes, onion, leek, 4 red potatoes. You are going to get some seaweed, some kombu in there, which is found in the Asian section of most grocery stores. It is like a dried seaweed. It's going to come in a blue and red package. You're going to put some garlic, some parsley, some bay leaves, some juniper berries. Those can be a little bit hard to find. It is not the end of the world if you skip them. I actually throw in sometimes shiitake mushrooms, or if you have the stem of a broccoli, but stick to the recipe if that's where you're most comfortable. And it takes 5 minutes. You cut a sweet potato in half. The leek you do need to cut. You make a score, make a line with your butcher's knife or chef's knife down the side, because there are sands that's deep wedged into the leek. So you'll need to peel back the layers of the leek to make sure you clean that out. But everything else, honestly, the onion, the potatoes, I just throw them in. I don't even wash them sometimes. It depends how much of a hurry I'm in. Again, the leek you have to wash, otherwise you will end up with sand in your soup. And then you put them in the biggest stock pot or pot you can find. You fill it up, you cover it with water, and then you bring it to a boil, and then let it simmer for as long as you want. So there are days, honestly, that I don't even have time to bring it to a boil. I throw everything in the pot practically whole. I throw the water in, and I turn it on like low and just leave it there all day. It would take you 5 minutes. And then at the end of the day, you strain or you fish out all of the vegetables, and you just drink the clear broth. I keep them in big mason jars, but whatever works for you. And then you're going to use that as the base for some of your soups. You can cook your rice or your quinoa in it, or you can drink it as a snack. My daughter actually loves it. She's not a big green eater, but she likes that soup. It's very sweet. It actually comes from a cancer cookbook for people. It's designed for people with that are going through chemotherapy. They can't keep everything down. It's extremely nourishing. So can you use regular stock boxed broth that you get in the grocery store? If you must, yes, but I would really encourage you to try this, to make this mineral broth on your own. It is really not difficult, I promise you. So that's that. A big thing here is you need to make sure you're drinking a lot of water. Melissa, you want to touch on why water is so important and how that flushes your system?
Sure, and I just want to make sure, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
I just wanted, okay, because I was having a little bit of feedback, and I think it's from my end, so just wanted to be sure about that. So yeah, drinking a lot of water during a detox is important for several reasons. One is that it's a natural kind of detoxifier. It gets into your body and really flushes everything out. So it's getting everything out of your system that we don't want. It's also really important to stay hydrated when you're doing a detox. And one thing I have noticed with my clients is if they're having a hard time having regular bowel movements. Now, this might be a little bit uncomfortable for people to hear and or listen to talk about, but here's the deal. This is a huge, huge part of a successful detox, and it has to be talked about. Now, I work in a holistic center that is a colonic studio, so I'm actually very knowledgeable about how important it is to have regular bowel movements when you're on a detox. If you are not, so let's say you're not even regular before you started this, there's a good chance that if you're not careful, it could just get worse. It could, okay, when you're detoxing. Not always true at all. Just the extra fiber and everything could really get things going. But the point is, I just want you to be aware if you're not having regular. By regular, I mean once to twice a day. And because if it's sitting there, if your waste matter is sitting in your intestines, it's quite simply kind of rotting there. It sounds gross, but that's exactly what you don't want. So one thing that I learned is that laxatives, even the herbal kind, is actually not really the best route to go, because these supplements or these type of stimulants is what I'll call them. What they do is they get into the intestines and they quite literally just kind of irritate it so that the intestines are irritated, you're cramping, and then you really just feel like you have to go. They don't teach the intestines how to work properly, which is something called peristalsis. So imagine it like the wave of an ocean that comes and crashes onto shore. It's very cyclical, right? There's a high tide, low tide, but it's always kind of moving slowly. That's in essence what's happening, how the intestines move food through the colon, is that peristalsis, a wave that goes right from the beginning and all the way through. But oftentimes if people are not optimally healthy or if something's going on, they're constipated. So I just want to say that if you are having issues with that, go ahead and reach out to us. But what I would recommend is a more natural route. So vitamin C is actually a wonderful source and a natural way to get the bowels moving. Most people don't realize that. What I want to caution is that you want to be very careful about the amount that you use. You probably want to check in with your doctor, or if you have a trusted homeopath, naturopathic doctor, or even a health food store. But you want to be conservative to start, so maybe 500 milligrams. And then you can kind of work your way up from there. Another product that is great, not a product, but a natural mineral, is calcium magnesium. That's something else that helps relax the muscles and helps kind of things move through. So that was a little long-winded, but I think it was really important. So we'll kind of race through the rest of this, and Joy, I'll let you take over.
Yep. Just for the essence of time. The Bragg's apple cider vinegar, I actually have a handout that I can send talking all about that if you guys are interested. But I do think it's a great way. It boosts or improves your digestion, and it's just a natural probiotic. So it's putting the good bacteria back into your system. The lunch, as outlined in the meal plan, or if you're out and about, which I know a lot of people are, you can do a lunch of steamed or sauteed vegetables, some brown rice, and an organic protein like chicken, fish, or beans. Just if you're eating in a restaurant, please make sure that you're not eating things that have some kind of preservatives or MSG or something like that. And then again, if you can squeeze in just even a 10 or 15-minute walk just to get your lymphatic system up and running, that would be fabulous. Mid-afternoon snack, as hungry. It doesn't have to be at 2 or 3 o'clock. There's a lot of snack options. It's, again, you can have the miracle broth, you can have some nuts or seeds, the apple with almond butter. Dinner, I really would like to encourage you to eat a little bit earlier and to be done by 7 p.m. So you have a full 12 hours of digestion and sort of relax, so your body can relax and process and just continue the detox process, because that's when majority of the detoxing is occurring, is while you're sleeping and while your system is resting. So do your dinner as outlined in the meal plan, or if you're a fly-by-seat of your pants type of person, you can do more steamed veggies, some rice, and a protein, or a big healthy salad or something. Just again, make sure that it's something that is substantial enough that it's going to keep you satiated for the next 12 hours. Fats is often what is satiating, so olive oil, avocado, something like that, a big healthy fat. The evening ritual, skin brushing. Again, there's directions here. If you read through them and you still have questions, please feel free to ask us. And I think we're going to say the same maybe for the Epsom salt bath and the castor oil pack. Yep. The journaling is a great way to really touch in. I know Melissa had said earlier that the sugar, eliminating sugar can really bring up a lot of feelings. People are really tied to emotional eating and oftentimes not even aware of it. So when you give sugar up and you don't have a food that you can go to reward yourself at the end of a long or stressful day, or you got into a fight with your mother-in-law and you want to go have, I don't know, a bowl of ice cream, whatever the reason is for you, it's going to bring up, it very well may bring up feelings. So the journaling is a great way to kind of get in touch with that, and you'd be amazed at some of the insights that you'll gain. And again, you'll be tired. Your body is doing a lot of work, so we really strongly encourage you, let the house be a little bit messier this week. It's okay if the dishes sit until the morning. It's not the end of the world if things, if you're a type A person, which I totally understand, let things go a little bit this week. It's okay. You're doing this for your body. It's a gift, and you need to let your body sleep. So try to keep, get in bed by 9:30, read a book, try to skip the TV or the computer if you can, and try to be asleep by 10 o'clock if you can.
Yeah.
So moving right through, do you want to do these food tips, Melissa, or you want me to do that? I think we pretty much.
Well, I think we pretty much covered most of them, and I think a lot of these tips are just that they're quick tips for you to hopefully take advantage of. I don't know that we really need to go through them, and in the interest of time, I think it's more important to talk about if there's anything else that is in regards to cooking and food prep tips.
Yeah.
Joy, let's do that, and then we'll kind of wrap this up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. What I really, really want to do is, so we talked about on Saturday or Sunday, if it's possible for you to get that hour to yourself on Sunday morning to go to the grocery store by yourself, I really would encourage you to do that. You'll have your grocery list. You ask a couple questions. You're getting a large amount of produce. And what I really want to emphasize here, I didn't do this last time, and I think it was confusing for some people, is you want to buy yourself 4 or 5 heads of greens. You can get the plastic tins of spinach if you have to. You can get, some kale or collard greens. They have dandelion greens. I mean, whatever looks appealing to you. I personally really like a mixture of kale and collard greens. But again, you can do spinach, arugula. There's a lot of options. But you want to come home from the grocery store and you want to blanch your greens. And so what you're going to do, and I'll make a video of this and send it out to you guys. You want to make a big pot of greens that's ready to go anytime. So what you're going to do is you're going to pull out your pot of water and you're going to set it to boil. And in the meantime, while you're waiting your water to boil, you're going to get a strainer or a colander out. You're going to put it in the sink. You're going to take the greens. They don't even ever have to hit the refrigerator because they're large and they probably wouldn't fit. You're going to chop them all. You can de-stem them by running your hand along the stem and just pulling the actual leaf off. I eat the stems. They're crunchier. I like them. They're certainly edible, but that's up to you. And you're going to cut them or tear them into what you would consider bite-sized pieces. And then once the water has come to a boil, you're going to throw all of those chopped or torn greens into the water. Turn the water off. Give it 30 seconds or so, just until you see them sort of start to wilt, so they're not so big anymore. And then you're going to take them and you're going to take a slotted spoon or something, and you're going to fish the greens out and put them into the colander and let them drain, and then run cold water over them, squeeze them out, and then put them in some kind of glass dish or something in your fridge. And now you have your greens for the week. It's really going to help you out. I would also really recommend you pre-cut all your vegetables. So if you're choosing to, radish, cucumber, celery, carrots, whatever it is that you chose, you can dip them into hummus for a snack, but pre-cut everything so it's ready when you're hungry come, 2 o'clock on Monday afternoon, or you're getting ready to pack your bag, your food for work on Monday, that everything's done for you. You don't have to think about, what are you going to make yourself to eat on Monday. You're going to do all your prep on Sunday. You can also pre-cut vegetables. You can wash and destem and cut things like mushrooms, and then you can store them into a brown paper bag. So when you come home to make dinner after work, you're not going to be chopping a bunch of vegetables. Again, that depends on, do you have more time on the weekend? Do you have more time at 5:30 on a weeknight? That's really up to you. You can store these vegetables in a 1-gallon Ziploc bag. You can wrap them in paper towels to hold the moisture. Just make sure all the air is out of the Ziploc bag when you close it. I really encourage you to make the magic mineral broth. Do that over the weekends. And you can make your lentil soup, you can make the dal, you can make the pumpkin lentil curry. A lot of the things I really try to make things that you could make ahead, or you could prep everything and have them ready to throw in a slow cooker the morning before you're leaving, or at 2 o'clock whenever you have time. I would also, lastly, after you've made your mineral broth, encourage you to make a really large pot of quinoa or brown rice over the weekend. And I keep it right in the pot, and I just keep it in the fridge, and then I pull it out and heat it up as I need it. But that's going to save you a ton of time, again, during the week, and all your food's going to be ready. The one thing that I do want to bring to your attention about the quinoa is you really have to rinse the quinoa. So put that, the amount of quinoa that you plan to cook into a large bowl. You'll cover it with water and stir it around with your hands until the water becomes cloudy. And then you can drain the water using a sieve or a small hold colander and cook the quinoa as normal. And that's really important also. If you guys have, and I'm sure you will, there's going to be a lot more of the cooking and food prep questions as they come up over the weekend. So feel free to use the forum to ask me those questions. We are here to support you. I understand that you guys are going to be out of your comfort zone and have a lot of questions, and that's what we're here for. That's what this is about. I don't know, Melissa, what do you want to do? Do you want to wrap up, or do you want to go through the supplements? We're over time already.
I think we're good to pretty much wrap up, but I do want to mention about the supplements. So here's the deal. When you do a detox, there are so many recommendations that we could give regarding supplements, and there are so many routes you can take. You can do herbal supplements. You can do homeopathics. You can do just your normal run-of-the-mill, go to Whole Foods type things. You can do tea. There's so much that you can do. But what I have found is that oftentimes the simplest way to actually do this is to just concentrate on changing the food for a week, and then you're good to go. However, wanted to provide a list of supplements, and it's within that list of the top 10 tips and recommendations for the next 5 days, and included a list of supplements that not only do we recommend taking during the detox, but also pretty much every day for the rest of your life, honestly. And that's all. We're going to leave it at that. So it's great to take. I believe everyone should take a high-quality multivitamin, multi-mineral. My disclaimer here is I believe it needs to be a whole food source. So that means that it is a vitamin and mineral that has been made directly from the fruits and vegetables. You can go to Whole Foods or your local health food store and actually ask them to direct you to that. I don't particularly advocate the vitamins that were made synthetically that you'll get at Walgreens, Walmart, that type thing. Calcium, magnesium. So remember I said before that these minerals really support your health during a detox program. They're very relaxing. They're going to help your muscles, your nerves. They're going to help you sleep better. If you have any cramping, if you have any stress, they're awesome. Vitamin D, that's another one I think is not just good for the detox, but always. I think the recommended daily allowance is, I want to say 400 is what I think they bumped it to 400, maybe 600 international units. I think that most people are severely deficient in vitamin D, D3, and I think you can afford to be taking up to 1,000, especially during this detox, so 1,000 international units. Finally, probiotics and omega-3 fatty acids. Probiotics are amazing for your digestion, your internal flora, and your immune system. Sorry about the dog that just barked. And and omega-3 fatty acids are an amazing source of reducing inflammation in the body. And isn't that what we're trying to do here? So I'm not going to go into it anymore. And I also will say we didn't put brands that we suggested here. That's not really our intent with this. We want to give you the roadmap, and if you go to your local health food store or someone that you trust to get a good brand that you like, then you'll be good to go. So leave it at that. Is that okay, Joy?
Yeah, no, that's great. So I just, to wrap up, I just want to say we understand that this is, might feel a little overwhelming to some of you that are new. So please reach out to us. Use the people that have been through this before in your group. We have a nice group that's going through this. Please get on the Yahoo sites. You all have an invitation that you just need to accept, and then you'll be able to access the Yahoo group, which is, again, TUFC, as in The Ultimate Fall Cleanse, at yahoogroups.com. The email goes out to everyone. You can set the settings. If you want to see all the emails that come through, you can set the setting for that. If you just want a daily digest at the end of the day, you can do that. So it works for everybody depending how, where you are in the process. But please, reach out, ask questions. That's what we are here for. That's why we do this as a group. Everybody needs support, so please support each other. Don't just necessarily wait for Melissa and I to answer a question. If you think that you can help somebody, say something. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So with that, thank you very much. And Melissa, you?
Yes, just wanted to say thank you. Best of luck. And I think this will be a great 5 days for everyone. So
okay. And we'll
enjoy.
talk to you soon. Thanks.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, bye.